Have you ever wondered what it would feel like if the ground beneath your feet started whispering secrets from deep within the earth? Well, in Yellowstone National Park, those whispers are turning into roars. Recent discoveries have revealed unprecedented shifts in the park's geothermal world, massive earthquake swarms and surging hydrothermal activity that's got scientists buzzing and visitors on edge. Hey there, friends. Welcome to another deep dive into the wild wonders of our planet. I'm talking about Yellowstone, that iconic slice of American wilderness straddling Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. If you've ever hiked its trails or marveled at Old Faithful shooting skyward, you know it's not just a park. It's a living, breathing supervolcano. But lately, things have been heating up in ways we never fully appreciated until now. We're seeing earthquake swarms that are more chaotic and frequent than we thought, paired with surges in geothermal features like new hot springs popping up out of nowhere. Is this a swarm of quakes signaling trouble, or a surge of steam that's just business as usual? Let's unpack this step by step, like we're chatting over coffee about the latest plot twist in nature's epic saga. First off, let's set the scene. Yellowstone sits atop a massive hotspot, a plume of scorching hot rock rising from deep in the Earth's mantle, like a blowtorch aimed right at the crust. This hotspot has fueled 3 cataclysmic eruptions over the last 2 million years, the kind that blanketed half the continent in ash. But don't panic. The next big one isn't due for another 100,000 years or so, based on what we know. What makes Yellowstone so mesmerizing today isn't the threat of a supervolcano blowout, but its everyday fireworks, over 10,000 geothermal features, including half the world's active geysers. Think of it as Earth's largest natural hot tub, bubbling with water heated by magma lurking about 3 to 6 miles below the surface. Now, enter the swarms. Earthquake swarms are like a flock of birds suddenly taking flight. They're clusters of small quakes happening in quick succession, often without a big main shock leading the way. In Yellowstone, these aren't rare. The park rattles with 2,500 to 2,500 detectable quakes every year. But here's where it gets exciting. In July 2025, a groundbreaking study using artificial intelligence flipped our understanding on its head. Scientists fed AI algorithms 15 years of seismic data from 2008 to 2022, and the tech uncovered a whopping 86,000 hidden earthquakes, 10 times more than we previously knew about. That's like discovering an entire underground symphony we were only hearing snippets of before. These hidden quakes weren't just random. Over half were part of swarms, zigzagging along rough, immature faults like cracks in a freshly baked cake that's still settling. Picture this. Under the Yellowstone caldera, that giant volcanic crater spanning 30 by 45 miles, the ground is constantly shifting as hot fluids migrate through the rocks. These fluids act like lubricant, easing the pressure and triggering those swarms. A fun fact? One of the largest recorded swarms hit in 1985 with over 3,000 quakes in 3 months. But the AI study shows we've been missing the full picture. In 2025 alone, we've seen smaller swarms, like one in May with 18 quakes northeast of West Yellowstone, Montana, and another in August with 10 quakes north of Old Faithful. No big deal on their own, but they're clues to the restless beast below. But swarms are only half the story. Let's talk surges, the geothermal kind that make Yellowstone feel alive. These are spikes in hydrothermal activity, where superheated water and steam force their way to the surface, creating new features or exploding in dramatic fashion. Remember the Biscuit Basin explosion in July 2024? It sent rocks and boiling water flying, closing the area for safety. Fast forward to 2025, and we're seeing a surge of new developments that have experts scratching their heads in awe. Take Norris Geyser Basin, one of the hottest and most unpredictable spots in the park. In March 2025, a new thermal vent started spewing steam right near a road, visible to drivers like a surprise roadside attraction. Then, in April, geologists spotted a brand new blue hot spring, likely born from a series of small hydrothermal explosions. These aren't your gentle bubbles. Hydrothermal explosions happen when underground water flashes to steam in an instant, blasting craters like a pressure cooker lid popping off. Scientists even detected one instrumentally for the first time in April 2024. But the 2025 studies are building on that, showing how these events are more common than we realized. And it didn't stop there. By July 2025, another hole appeared in Norris, a steaming pool that formed between December 2024 and February 2025, evolving from a depression in the ground to a full-blown thermal feature. Park rangers estimate it started on Christmas Day 2024, like an unexpected holiday gift from Mother Nature. Over the last 20 years, entire new thermal areas have emerged, detected by satellites like Landsat, which spot heat signatures from space. It's as if the park is remodeling itself, shifting hotspots and creating fresh wonders. Why? Blame the ever-changing plumbing system underground, channels of hot water and gas that reroute like traffic in a busy city, sometimes surging to create new vents or revive dormant geysers. So what's connecting these swarms and surges? It's all about the dance between earthquakes and geothermal fluids. When quakes crack the rock, they can open pathways for hot water to flow, leading to surges in activity. Conversely, building pressure from those fluids can trigger more quakes. It's a feedback loop, like how a simmering pot might rattle the lid before boiling over. The AI-discovered swarms reveal that Yellowstone's faults are rougher and younger than in mature earthquake zones like California's San Andreas, making the activity more chaotic and swarm-like. Real-world example: think of the 1959 Hebgen Lake earthquake, a magnitude 7.3 shaker just outside the park that killed 28 people and altered geysers for years. It shows how seismic shifts can directly influence geothermal behavior. But before you start packing your go bag, let's ease those eruption fears. Yellowstone is monitored 24/7 by the USGS Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, with seismometers, GPS stations tracking ground deformation, and even gas sensors sniffing for changes in volcanic fumes. Right now, the alert level is green, normal background activity. Those swarms and surges? They're Yellowstone's way of venting steam, preventing a bigger buildup. Without them, pressure might accumulate dangerously. Fun fact: Old Faithful isn't as faithful as you think. Its intervals have lengthened from 60 minutes a century ago to about 90 now, thanks to subtle shifts in the underground reservoir. It's a reminder that change is constant here. As we build curiosity, consider this. These unprecedented shifts aren't just local news. They teach us about Earth's inner workings, helping predict hazards in other volcanic hotspots like Hawaii or Iceland. For us in the U.S., Yellowstone is a national treasure, drawing over 4 million visitors a year who come for the bison, the canyons, and yes, the geothermal thrills. But it also underscores our vulnerability. Hydrothermal explosions, though rare, can happen without warning, like the one that created Mary Bay in Yellowstone Lake 13,800 years ago, a crater over a mile wide. Wrapping this up, imagine Yellowstone as a giant ancient heart, pumping heat, water, and energy through veins of rock, sometimes skipping a beat with a swarm or surging with a new burst of life. These recent discoveries, from AI-unveiled quakes to emerging hot springs, remind us that our planet is far from static. It's a dynamic force that demands respect and wonder. So, next time you're scrolling through park updates or planning a trip, remember, swarm or surge, Yellowstone's shifts are nature's way of keeping us on our toes. What other secrets might be bubbling up next? Stay curious, friends. The Earth has more stories to tell.